The Secure Containment Procedures Foundation, commonly abbreviated SCP Foundation, is the titular central protagonistic faction of the SCP Foundation series. It is an extremely diverse and well-funded paranormal organization dedicated to the apprehension and containment of anomalies, ranging from creatures to objects, locations, events, and phenomena, dubbed as SCPs, and is led by the O5 Council. The organization is overall dedicated to understanding anomalous occurrences and permanently incarcerating them so that they are kept away from humanity, whether it is for the SCP's safety from society or vice versa. Despite certainly having good intentions, the Foundation has frequently committed several morally questionable or downright villainous acts throughout the mythos in order to accomplish their goals. The Foundation captures and contains all abnormal occurrences, whether they are threatening or not. Every SCP is experimented upon, and tests are conducted on them on a daily basis. Just like Creepypasta, SCP started spreading all over the internet, until the SCP website was launched in 2008, which has been collecting and documenting SCPs. One of the first SCPs that popularized the SCP Foundation was SCP-173, also known as the Sculpture. Today, there have been over 6,000 entities and articles on the website and in the Foundation. New ones are still being discovered and contained to this day. The exact nature of the SCP Foundation's founding is unknown, but over the years there have been many myths, involving everything from the angel who guarded the Garden of Eden to a supernatural post-Civil War factory. The true origin will likely remain hidden forever, but it was known that Foundation, or a precursor, was operating already in the 19th century and was a powerful organization on the world stage by the 20th century, being acknowledged by both the anomalous community and most national governments. After World War I, the Foundation created a special task force known only as of the Insurgency, which would perform the more questionable tasks of the Foundation. This task force would be deployed in 1925. The Foundation took part in the Seventh Occult War, which ran concurrently with World War II, and while its role in the war was not known, it is presumed they were fighting the Thule Society and Ananurbabskarakarbs, who tried to perform the Rite of Solomon. Eventually, the war ended, and the Foundation continued to its normal duties of containing. The Global Occult Coalition was formed since the governments of the world wanted a force against the anomalous that they could control, but the Foundation continued to work with them. In 1948, the insurgency went AWOL and rose against the Foundation, obtaining several SCPs in the process, and renaming themselves the Chaos Insurgency. In the 20th century, the Foundation came across thousands of anomalies, making the best in containing them, as well as coming in contact with several rivals and enemy factions. In the 1950s to 1980s, the Foundation would also discover the re-emergence of Sarkicism, with devastating anomalies in Europe like SCP-610 and SCP-2191-3, as well as cults like Adam's Wake and the Hunters' Black Lodge spreading their influence. The Foundation would also discover several anomalies tied to an ancient, malevolent eldritch being, for which they would have to perform some of its more questionable procedures, such as Procedure 110 Montauk, which involved brutally raping a girl as part of a ritual to prevent the birth of the being's child. In 2007, the Foundation would discover Anderson Robotics, a corporation that develops advanced androids and artificial intelligence, which used advanced fly-like drones to spy on the Foundation. Despite the emergence of these things, the Foundation has been able to pursue its mission statement without breaking the status quo too much. All Foundation personnel are sworn to secrecy and are expected to be loyal and professional in their duties. For example, matters like personal morals or superstition should never cloud their judgment during work. The SCP Foundation is led by the Overseer Council, also known as the O5 Council. The O5 Council consists of usually 13 people who are often only defined as O5-1 through O5-13. The O5 Council has unlimited access to all files and reports without any data expunged or redacted. The Council usually decides major decisions with anomalies that have existential threats to humanity or the universe at large but can influence anything. It is often speculated that the O5s might be anomalous themselves. Ethics Committee. The Ethics Committee also wields a lot of power inside the Foundation. Most personnel considers the Ethics Committee as a joke or myth, but in reality, the leaders of this committee are described to have the same power as the O5s. They hide in plain sight and apparently have some authority over the O5 Council. The committee decides what is ethically acceptable for the Foundation to do in their mission statement. Site directors are high-ranking researchers that lead the different containment sites around the world. They often have assistant directors of different expertise that assist them inside the facilities. Site directors are also usually the highest-ranking officials who still have a full name and not a numeric designation like with the O5 Council. Mobile Task Forces, or MTFs, are the Foundation's most effective and skilled personnel. They can be anything from scientists and researchers to elite special forces soldiers, the most common variant used in stories or media about the SCP mythos. Mobile task forces are, as the name suggests, mobile and can operate on either containment sites or in the field. They usually deal with the most dangerous anomalies, where the more common field and recovery agents might lack knowledge or training. MTFs often also have specialties, example, MTF Mu4, debuggers, is specified in tracking anomalous electronic devices, technology, and transmission, and either trying to contain or block them. The most famous/infamous mobile task force is MTF Alpha 1, Red Right Hand, which consists of the Foundation's best and most loyal operatives and employees. Despite this, MTF Alpha 1 is often connected to the creation of the Chaos Insurgency, a rival organization that seeks to destroy the Foundation. Researchers are doctors and scientists who research anomalies. Their duties can vary from experimentation on the anomalies to developing special containment procedures. Security clearances and ranks also vary from simple research assistants to site directors and everything in between. The expertise of researchers can vary from different scientific fields like technology to zoology or different anomalous field. An example for the latter is that Dr. Judith Lowe is specialized with anomalies that relate to Grand Karst ion and his following, sarcasm. The containment specialists are employees who design and uphold the special containment procedures of anomalies. Containment specialists can be anything from technicians to doctors to security personnel, and these duties often overlap with other ranks. The facilities of the Foundation employ security personnel that serve as the primary defense force indoors. Their duties rank from guarding anomalies to serving as bodyguards for higher-ranking officials. Their duty often overlaps with containment specialists, and MTF's field agents are responsible for detecting anomalies in the outside world. They can be placed in any organization, whether it is a government, a company, or a military or law enforcement organization. They serve as eyes and ears and contact the Foundation when something anomalous is detected. Recovery teams are usually called in by field agents when an anomaly is found. They are responsible for capturing the anomaly and transporting it back to the Foundation-owned facility. As mentioned before, with more dangerous anomalies, MTFs are sent in. Class D personnel is the lowest-ranking staff of the Foundation. Usually recruited from convicted criminals, especially the death row criminals. They often serve as human test subjects with anomalies, be it on facilities or in the field. Other groups and civilian organizations see this usually as a human rights violation, though the Foundation sees this as necessary. In older canon, Class D personnel were automatically terminated after 30 days of employment. In newer canon, they are often given Class B amnesiac drugs instead at the discretion of security and medical staff. In some cases, when the Foundation is running out of D-class and none of death row prisoners are available, the Foundation may enable Protocol 12, which recruits Class D personnel from other prison populations, refugee populations, or in extreme cases civilian sources. The Foundation also employs more mundane staff such as communication specialists, kitchen staff, accounting, archives, janitorial staff, and electricians, who do not work directly with anomalies but are vital in day-to-day operations. While literally thousands of SCPs have been contained by the Foundation, there are several notable ones that are popularly associated with the Foundation. It should be noted that all of these SCPs are contained by the Foundation and are not affiliated with the Foundation's personnel. In the SCP Foundation, the SCPs are categorized by different classes, which vary based on the SCP's ease of containment. Most notable are the Safe, Euclid, and Keter classes, but there are more in the Foundation. Safe SCPs which are easily contained by the Foundation. These SCPs ultimately cannot escape containment of their own accord and are not considered a threat by the Foundation unless specifically used in a threatening manner. Safe classification does not necessarily mean that the SCP in question is not dangerous, just that it is easily contained. Euclid: SCPs that require resources to remain contained. Most Euclid SCPs are difficult to understand and oftentimes unpredictable. Their danger is greater than safe class SCPs. Keter: SCPs that are extremely difficult to contain in the facility. Though Keter classification refers solely to the difficulty of containment and does not necessarily mean that the SCP in question is dangerous, most of the time, Keter SCPs are considered to be extremely dangerous and hostile and can pose a threat to the world or universe at large. The procedures of these SCPs are very complex. Thaumiel: SCPs used by the Foundation to assist in efforts of containing and/or countering other SCPs. These SCPs are some of the most well-kept secrets of the Foundation. Archon: SCPs that the Foundation believes should not be contained due to the potential damage that could be caused by containing them. Apollyon: SCPs which are near impossible to contain by the Foundation. These SCPs are considered to be one of the most threatening SCP classifications of all and are threats on global or cosmic scales. Neutralized: SCPs that, as the name suggests, are deceased, destroyed, or otherwise no longer functional. Explained: SCPs whose anomalous properties have been explained or debunked, and most often do not pose a threat. Decommissioned: terminated SCPs rejected by the Foundation. SCP-993, a twisted TV show starring Bobble the Clown, which causes psychotic and schizophrenic symptoms. Anyone over the age of 10 will pass out upon viewing it. SCP-999, an adorable orange-colored slime creature, which cures anyone and anything in pain. SCP-049, a plague doctor who uses a mysterious treatment on human subjects that renders them as brain-dead and hostile zombies. SCP-087, a seemingly endless staircase going down that contains a humanoid figure. SCP-087-1. The constant sound of crying can be heard deep within SCP-087. SCP-096, a tall, pale, humanoid that will kill anyone or anything that sees its face. It is indestructible and unstoppable when enraged. SCP-173, one of the first SCPs. SCP-173 is a statue-like creature that cannot move when in direct eyesight, but can move unfathomably fast when looked away from. It will kill anything it can by breaking the neck. SCP-035, a sentient mask with the ability to possess anyone that wears it and rots them into nothingness. SCP-076-2, a humanoid of Sumerian descent that can summon a variety of weapons and if killed, revives in SCP-076-1. SCP-106, an elderly humanoid with the ability to pass through any material and create pocket dimensions at any time. SCP-682, an indestructible reptilian monster with a hatred for humanity and a desire for all of it to be wiped out. SCP-6820-A, a version of SCP-682 as a result of Project Anti-Kill, with the device intending to be used to kill SCP-682, but then it becomes an immortal enigma, corrupt SCP-6820 and becomes SCP-6820-A, a highly dangerous Apollyon-class destroyer with no known physical form. SCP-001 is a title given to a mysterious anonymous SCP in the SCP Foundation. What is interesting about this SCP is that there isn't an official SCP titled SCP-001. Only proposals exist for SCP-001, which have been listed on the Foundation's site. According to the site, one, many, or all of the SCPs proposed may or may not be the real identity of SCP-001. There have been over 30 proposals dedicated to the SCP-001 title, and the Foundation also implements that SCP-001 is considered to be the biggest main secret of the Foundation, which has been blocked for everyone to get access to top-secret information about the anomaly of SCP-001. The SCP Foundation employs thousands of people such as researchers, agents, doctors, and guards. The work these individuals perform is often morally controversial in nature, such as D-Class personnel and Procedure 110 Montauk. However, the work is always meant to protect mankind and preserve normality. Besides SCPs, the Foundation also holds a record of persons of interest, POI, who are either anomalous or connected to it. POI 018747, Konrad Weiss, Director of Annenerbubskarakerbs. POI 1115, Vincent Anderson, Founder of Anderson Robotics. POI 5333-2, Horus, the Egyptian god of sky and kingship. POI 93, a being claimed to be Grand Karcist Ion, the principal deity of Sarkicism. POI 7701, Dr. Madison Craggs, an agent of the Chaos Insurgency. POI R5677-1, Leopold Connor, CEO of Zipco Industries. POI 0007, D.C. Alfine, Undersecretary of the Global Occult Coalition. Interestingly enough, the SCP Foundation exists worldwide, and it is in various languages displayed on the Internet as its own branches. If enough English SCPs get translated into another language, and new unexisting SCPs get made in a different language, it escalates in a new branch being made in that exact language. Currently, 13 official and 4 unofficial branches exist in the SCP Foundation. On the Villains Wiki, international SCPs exist such as SCP-025-FR, SCP-060-FR, and SCP-015-IT. SCP, Containment Breach. The Foundation is the driving force behind the video game SCP, Containment Breach, based on the SCP mythos. Located in one of the site buildings/prisons, the player plays a member of the D-Class personnel trying to escape when a containment breach releases dozens of hostile SCPs. SCP, Containment Breach, Unity Remake. On October 14, 2016, a group of developers remade SCP, Containment Breach by upgrading the graphics and adding a number of new SCPs. The game itself had the same goal as the original, but the game got cancelled before it could be finished in 2021. The game control developed by Remedy was heavily inspired by the SCP Wiki, with the Federal Bureau of Control being analogous to the SCP Foundation. An indie horror strategy management simulation game developed by Project Moon, which is about an underground company that uses paranormal beings referred as abnormalities to draw energy. This game was inspired by the SCP Foundation among many more. The SCP Foundation and various SCPs appear in the video game Anno Mutationum developed by Thinking Stars, which is set in a cyberpunk post-apocalyptic world. SCP Pandemic is an upcoming hardcore cooperative first-person tactical shooter based on the story of SCP-5000. In the game, the players take the role of a rogue fire team who are tasked with stopping the SCP Foundation from exterminating humanity. Go Home Annie, an SCP game, is a twisted first-person horror adventure game in which the player takes the role of a personnel working for the SCP Replication Division. In the game, the player is tasked with testing various anomalies which include puzzles and interacting with various entities. In the Recon Island Incident arc of the Gun X Clover manga series, Koto no Hanahase is seen wearing a t-shirt depicting the Foundation's logo. In Chapter 4 of the series Tsukiro no Invader, a boy is seen wearing a t-shirt depicting the Foundation's logo and a small monster named SCP-9999. A manga released by B-Scans for free on Mangadex. The series revolves around a doctor employed by the Foundation encountering various SCPs and personnel. On August 23 of 2019, Retro Digital Media released a short movie titled SCP Dollhouse, which revolved around an MTF investigating some anomalous activity inside a house in suburban Middle America, but were misinformed and highly unprepared for what they encountered. On November 4 of 2020, Retro Digital Media released another short movie titled SCP Overlord, which revolved around MTF Nu 7 investigating a house inhabited by an anomalous cult. The movie was well received and even won several awards. The third installment planned to complete the trilogy done by Retro Digital Media. However, due to lack of support on Kickstarter as a result of the massive budget required, the project was ultimately cancelled. A creature closely resembling SCP-173 briefly appears in Episode 6 of the Little Demon TV series. A book adaptation of the first series of There Is No Antimemetics Division. It revolves around the Antimemetics Division's director Marion Wheeler, who in her search for the truth about the unexplained disappearance of the original Antimemetics Division, she comes across SCP-3125 and is soon followed by her attempt in trying to the evil entity from taking over humanity and the world. The Breach Goes On, Bury the Survivors Vol. 1. A book with illustrations created by SCP author Harry Blank. It is a story revolving around 7 Foundation personnel working in Site 43, Canada, which include Dr. Lillian S. Lilyhammer, Dr. Udo A. Okari, Chief No Nasimbani, Dr. Harold R. Blank, Chief Delphina M. Ibanez, Dr. Alan J. McInnes and Dr. William W. Weddle. The story is about an anomalous waste facility exploding and causing damage to the surrounding reality, which left a massive impact in all of them, forcing them rebuild their lives while finding out what happened and prevent it from happening again. The SCP Foundation currently has 7 known series of SCPs. Series I contains SCP-001 through SCP-999, Series 2 contains SCP-1000 through SCP-1999, Series 3 contains SCP-2000 through SCP-2999, Series 4 contains SCP-3000 through SCP-3999, Series V contains SCP-4000 through SCP-4999, Series 6 contains SCP-5000 through SCP-5999, and Series 7 contains SCP-6000 through SCP-6999. Given the number of contributors and history of the site, SCP Foundation is without a doubt the largest collaborative work of fiction in history. The SCP Foundation's main enemies outside of the SCPs include the Chaos Insurgency, Serpent's Hand, Marshall, Carter, and Dark, Anderson Robotics, the Church of the Broken God, and the Sarkic cults. The SCP Foundation and the entire SCP mythos placed number 14 on TAT's Top Videos 2011 Top 22 Non-Gaming Creepypastas list and number 18 on the 2014 Top 22 Non-Gaming Creepypastas list. TAT's Top Videos has since released many SCP-related countdowns and is credited with helping to bring the SCP mythos to the popularity it has now. YouTubers Cody Maverick, Kraken Kid, and Cannibal Crab have made a series that is from the SCP Foundation. In 2020, the SCP Foundation online community became involved in a legal battle against a Russian man named Andrei Duskin, who used Russian trademarking loopholes to trademark the SCP brand in Russia. However, he then began illegally violating the Creative Commons license that the SCP Foundation by copyright claiming or prohibiting others' SCP-related work, threatening to prohibit the creation and distribution of further SCP-related content and writing. The SCP Foundation community is currently raising funds to pursue legal action. Dr. Scantron's proposal for SCP-001 seems to imply that the Foundation itself is considered an SCP. The SCP logo wasn't in fact created for the SCP Wiki. The symbol is actually a free, non-copyrighted vector graphic that was included in an Adobe product and was a modified sign warning about having a grounding device/wire connected, such as when working with explosive gases. In the universe of SCP-6001, where the Compendium, a benevolent amalgam organization of different GOIs, took over the world and declared worldwide peace with all anomalies, the SCP Foundation, known as the Foundation, was one of the GOIs that made up the Compendium.